This is the OTB Network.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. Starting out our look at stakes racing action from last week from around the country, we're going to head down to Calder Racecourse, where on Saturday they contested the Calder Derby. This was originally carded as a Grade 3 on the turf. It has officially lost its Grade 3 status pending review by the Graded Stakes Committee. It was run on the main track in sloppy conditions for a $200,000 purse, the distance 1 1/8 miles. Let's head down to Calder now for the call of the Calder Derby.
And they're off in the Calder Derby. Toward the inside, built up at the rail, it's Tour of the Cat. Middle of the track, Western Pride. To the outside, that's Monsieur Cat. Then it's another length back to High Ideal. Moving from between horses, next comes TV Sports Director, Vic Adantis to the outside. Then at the rail, it's built up. Another length back, Radical Riley. 2 lengths to Lucky Ride, and the trailer is Bricks and Ivy. They move past the 7-furlong pole with Western Pride in front by 2.5 lengths. It's Monsieur Cat in second position. At the rail, it's Tour of the Cat. Length to the outside, that's High Ideal. Then it's 2.5 lengths back to TV Sports Director between horses. Toward the inside, that's Built Up, moving up next. Then to the outside, it's Vic Adantis. 3 lengths back to Lucky Ride with Radical Riley alongside, and 2 more lengths to Bricks and Ivy. The half in 47-1 after an opening quarter of 22-4. The pace is quick as they move to the half-mile pole. It's Western Pride in front by 2.5 lengths. At the rail, it's Tour of the Cat. Outside, that's Monsieur Cat. It's another length back to High Ideal. Built Up moves up at the rail. 3 lengths back, it's Vic Adantis. Radical Riley on the way on the rail. Then it's 2.5 lengths back to the inside. It's Lucky Ride, then TV Sports Director, and Bricks and Ivy leads last place. They went 3 quarters in 1:11-4, and they move toward the quarter pole. With the lead, it's Western Pride by a length as Tour of the Cat moves alongside to challenge. 2.5 lengths back, Built Up comes on third. 3 quarters, 1:11-4, and they're at the top of the stretch. With the lead, it's still Western Pride by a length and a half. It's Tour of the Cat second. Built Up at the rail is next, then 2 lengths back, Radical Riley. Deep stretch, it's Western Pride in front by 3, and they're not going to get him today. He's going to take the Calder Derby by about 3.5.
Western Pride earning his 3rd consecutive Derby win, or the 3rd Derby win of the year. Last time out, beating Macho Uno in the Ohio Derby. They had actually considered very strongly running this horse on the turf here, but decided that they would continue on with him in off-the-turf conditions, as he has very good pedigree to handle the wet track as well, getting a front-end win over Tour of the Cat, who rallied up and challenged at the top of the stretch, was not able to match the winner. Built Up made a little bit of a sneaky move after being reserved early, saving some ground, advancing on the far turn into the 3rd spot. Western Pride is a 3-year-old dark bay or brown son of Way West from Stronger Than Pride by Proud Birdie. Bred in Florida by C. Bowling and C. Thompson, he is owned by Teresa MacArthur, trained by Richard Estvanco, and ridden to victory by David Whitney. Western Pride completes the 1 1/8 miles on a sloppy track at Calder in 1:51-1. We're going to be heading next to the Meadowlands, where they had a series of really good racing, great races over this weekend. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, we can't show all of them, but a couple of significant ones to bring to you, beginning with the Broad Brush on Friday night, $100,000 for 3-year-olds and up, going 1.16 miles. Let's head down to the Meadowlands for the call of the Broad Brush.
And they're off. A beautiful start, and on the outside, winning connection at the rail. Talks Cheap, but between horses, Rizé. And Rizé speeds up and takes the lead a half length going to the first turn. That's Be Known to Me in the checked colors in tight quarters there as Talks Cheap scoots through on the inside, and now Talks Cheap with Chucky Lopez has the lead 3 parts of a length. Rizé is in second now, but challenging on the outside after an opening quarter of 23 seconds. The duel continues on to the backstretch. Talks Cheap at the rail now leads by only a head as Rizé moves to challenge again. Heads apart on the front end. then a gap of 2 lengths, and Beknown to Me is racing third at this point by 2 1/4. On the outside, Winning Connection at the rail. There goes Runs Past Him in the orange colors, taking over 4th position, followed by Winning Connection, and far, far back, Harrington Sound is the distant trailer. 45 3 for the half. They're on the far turn. Talks Cheap leads it by 3 parts of a length. Rizet being asked for more, and here comes Runs Past Him, finding room on the inside and now moving to engage the leader. They turn for home, less than a 1/4 mile to go. It's Talks Cheap holding on to that lead. Runs Past Him, trying to close the gap. Rizet on the outside is third. Down the stretch they come. Talks Cheap, brave on the front end, in front by 2 with Chucky Lopez aboard. Runs Past Him, not able to close the gap, and Rizet will finish third. Here's the finish. Talks Cheap by 3 1/2. Runs Past Him second, Rizet third.
Talks Cheap picking up a very nice win here on the front end. This is a horse who has done some very dangerous work on the front end, was able to establish a little bit of a head start on Rizet, who was never quite able to get to the lead. He does his best running when running clear in front. Talks Cheap was able to rate just at the pace and made a huge move on the turn, responding very solidly to a 3 3/4 length victory. Runs Past Him. Did run past most of them, coming from well off the pace into the second spot, with Rizet having to settle for the third spot as the even money favorite. The winner, Talks Cheap, is a chestnut 5-year-old son of Corporate Report from Don't Tell Maisie by General Home. Bred in Kentucky by Dearborn Copeland, he is owned by Team Kanani Stable and Harry Quadracci. Trained by Linda Rice and ridden to victory by Chucky Lopez. Talks Cheap completes the mile in a 16th of the Broad Brush in 1:41 4. Continuing with some stakes racing action from the Meadowlands, the John Henry Stakes. 3-year-olds and up going a flat mile on the turf course. Let's head back to the Meadowlands for Friday night's running of the John Henry.
All in line. And they're off. Magical Madness toward the inside, going for the lead. Out in the middle of the racetrack, that's Rudy, but toward the rail, there goes Strategic Mission. And now Strategic Mission battles with Rudy for the early lead at the first turn. 2 1/4 back, that's Scagnelli hugging the fence, racing third by 1 1/4 lengths. On the outside, that's Magical Madness into 4th position, about 5 off the lead. Buying Rain is 5th at this point, then a break of 3 lengths back to Beckon the King. On the outside, Dignitas Dancer is next in midfield. It's 3 lengths farther back to Solitary Dancer in the green cap. At the rail, the gray, Buenos Dias follows. Then comes Green Fee in the green cap, who's third last. After that, it's Cogburn. And on the outside, Rolled Stocking is 12th, the back marker. 46 1 for the half, and the battle continues up front. Strategic Mission with Jerry Bailey, Rudy, and Mike McCarthy noses apart. Just behind the dueling leaders, Buying Rain looks for some racing room in the yellow cap. On the far outside, Magical Madness is next, and Beckon the King comes on quickly. Down the stretch they come. Strategic Mission leads it, but now on the outside, Beckon the King with Norberto Arroyo is quickest of all. And it's Beckon the King winning it. Strategic Mission finishes second. A photograph between Buying Rain and Green Fee for the show spot.
Beckon the King and Norberto Arroyo, who is turning out to be the king of the turf course at the Meadowlands, picking up a nice off-the-pace win here by a length at very long odds, 14.5 to 1 over the favorite Strategic Mission, with Jerry Bailey aboard after setting the pace. He settles for second with Buying Rain closing a bit of ground into the third spot. He's shipping up from some pretty competitive races on the Mid-Atlantic circuit. Beckon the King, an interesting horse, 2 claims in his last 2 races. Claim for $75,000 from Bill Mott a couple of races back by Richard Dutrow. He went back onto the main track with this horse. Gary Contessa grabbed him last time out in that main track effort, put him back on the turf in Stakes Company, and turns around and beats Bill Mott with Strategic Mission in a very nice effort here. Obviously, this horse does his best running on the turf, seems to like the mile as well, as he was able to set a new track record for the distance. Beckon the King is a 5-year-old bay gelding, a son of Ghazi, from Our Locket by Mr. Leader. Bred in Kentucky by Jill D. Ramsey, he is now owned by the IOU Anton Stable, trained by Gary Contessa, and ridden to victory by Norberto Arroyo Jr. Beckon the King completes the John Henry Stakes at a mile on the turf in a new track record 1:33.4. Next, we'll bring you the Pegasus Handicap, a Grade 2 event for 3-year-olds going 1 1/8 at the Meadowlands. Let's head back down to New Jersey for the call of the Pegasus.
And they're off in the Pegasus. From between horses, Giant Gentleman going for the lead. Burning Roma on the outside. Wood Moon now scoots through between horses. As they go to the first turn, Giant Gentleman at the rail leads it by a neck. Wood Moon on the outside to challenge early, with Burning Roma sitting just off the dueling leaders, racing third. On the far outside, Bowman's Band is caught a bit wide. Volpone in the blue cap at the rail is next, and the trailer is Dash and Dance. Sextet moves to the backstretch that way after an opening quarter of 22 3/5 seconds. Wood Moon on the outside with Jorge Chavez puts a head in front. Giant Gentleman battles back. They race as a team down the backstretch. Burning Roma just off the leaders, racing third. Volpone has moved through fourth along the inside. Bowman's Band is next, and a gap of 4 to the back marker, Dash and Dance. 45 1/5 for the half. They head to the far turn, and Giant Gentleman with Juan Umana takes command. Wood Moon on the outside second, and now Burning Roma is off the fence, and with Jerry Bailey aboard, moves a closer third. Volpone sits fourth at this point. 3 back comes Bowman's Band and Dash and Dance. At the top of the stretch, Giant Gentleman in front by head now. Burning Roma to challenge on the outside. And here comes Volpone, gaining ground with every stride. Down the stretch they come in the Pegasus. On the outside, Volpone. Between horses, Burning Roma. Giant Gentleman at the rail, past the 16th pole. It's Volpone with Sean Bridgemohan running away and winning the Pegasus by 3. Burning Roma second, and Giant Gentleman finished third.
Volpone getting his stakes win on the main track. This is a colt that broke his maiden stakes company last year on the turf. They have gone back and forth with him a couple of times, but it seems to me that he will probably turn out to be a little bit better in the long run on the main track. Sweeping past horses with a very nice move here, beating Burning Roma by 2 3/4 lengths. Burning Roma, the favorite, did rate fairly close to the pace and did get involved at the top of the stretch, but was no match for the winner. Giant Gentleman, early pace setter, holds on for the third spot as the almost 17-1 longest shot on the board. The winner, Volpone, a 3-year-old bay colt by Crypto Clearance from Prom Night by Sir Harry Lewis, was bred in Kentucky by the Amherst Stable, owned by Amherst Stable and Spruce Pond Stable, trained by Bill Johnson, P.G. Johnson, ridden to victory by Sean Bridgemohan. Volpone completes the Pegasus 1 1/8 in 1:46.2. One more stakes race to bring you from the Meadowlands, the Half Moon Stakes on Saturday evening. $75,000. Actually, I believe this race was also increased to $100,000 for 3-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs. Drew a very solid field, including several New York shippers. Let's head down to the Meadowlands for the call of the Half Moon.
And they're off. Ariana's Passion goes for the front quickly, and from between horses, Stormy Pick on the outside is next, with Look of the Lynx between horses moving up. Look of the Lynx on the outside at the rail. Ariana's Passion, middle of the track, Stormy Pick is right there third. Those 3 across the track battle early. Then it's a gap of 2 lengths far outside. Gold Mover in the yellow colors gains a bit of ground. From between horses, that's Skip the Print moving up. They're on the far turn after an opening quarter of 22 seconds. And on the inside, Ariana's Passion has it by a head. Look of the Lynx on the outside is right there. Those 2 battle for the lead as they turn for home. Look of the Lynx on the outside and Ariana's Passion at the rail. They straighten away in the lane, and here comes Gold Mover gaining ground in third. Approaching the 16th pole, that's Look of the Lynx with Richard Migliori drawing clear by a length and a half. At the rail, Ariana's Passion is second. Gold Mover will be third under the wire.
Look of the Lynx, one of the New York shippers, picking up a nice win, getting involved in the early going, setting a pressured pace, having Ariana's Passion right at her side every step of the way. But Look of the Lynx able to prevail by a length and a half at almost 10-1 under Richie Migliori for John Kimmel. Ariana's Passion hold on very nicely for the second spot as Gold Mover, who's just off the pace in an outside position, made a 5-wide move and fell a little bit short in the stretch as the second choice in the wagering here. Look of the Lynx is a 3-year-old dark bay or brown filly, a daughter of Forest Wildcat from Las Manitas by Faraway Sun. Bred in Kentucky by G.A. Sealbiner and Liberation Farm. She is owned by Martin Cherry, trained by John Kimmel. Ridden to Victory by Richie Migliori. Look of the Lynx completes the Meadowlands Half Moon Stakes 6 furlongs in 108 and 2. We are going to pause now for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be taking a look at stakes racing action from Keeneland as well as Santa Anita. Please stay tuned.
Join Gene Wood, Nick Kling, and Anthony Mormino on Wednesday, October 24th at the Albany Teletheater, 711 Central Avenue at 6 p.m. for a preview of the 18th Breeders' Cup, sponsored by the Daily Racing Form.
Everyone who attends will receive a free copy of the Daily Racing Form Advanced Edition for the Breeders' Cup.
Enter a raffle to win one of 5 $100 bet vouchers for Breeders' Cup Day.
Prizes courtesy of Capital OTB, the Daily Racing Form, and Breeders' Cup Limited.
Get the inside track on the races of Breeders' Cup 18 at the Albany Teletheater Wednesday, October 24th at 6 p.m.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to be heading to Keeneland, where their stakes program continues. Last Wednesday, the Indian Summer Stakes for 2-year-old filly sprinters going 6 furlongs. Let's head down to Keeneland now for the call of last Wednesday's Indian Summer.
And they're off. The Jelks comes out running for the early lead, and here comes Purple Princess up from between horses to challenge her. B. Jelks on the outside, Purple Princess over toward the rail. These two getting away just over 2 lengths in front of Vicky Valancourt, who goes over toward the inside. And then Spirit and Soul, who broke well, but now takes back from the battle up front, and a gap of 7 more lengths back to Lotta Rhythm, who's struggling to keep up in the early going, 21-3 for that opening quarter. Purple Princess leads it toward the inside by a neck. B. Jelks is second by 4 to Vicky Valancourt, Spirit and Soul, and still a long way back to Lotta Rhythm, who is the distant trailer around the far turn. B. Jelks comes forward on the outside, trying to stay with Purple Princess, who leads her by 3 parts of a length. Vicky Valancourt picks it up with a flourish now to the far outside, up within a length of the leader. Vicky Valancourt angles wide. They got the half in 46 seconds flat. Purple Princess leads at a half length. Vicky Valancourt is right alongside at the 8th pole. Then B. Jelks, Spirit and Soul. Lotta Rhythm is still last. Into the final furlong of the Indian Summer, Vicky Valancourt runs on by for the lead, and Purple Princess gives way in second. Lotta Rhythm is running toward third, but well behind Vicky Valancourt. Vicky Valancourt is going to take the 10th running of the Indian Summer by 3.5 lengths.
Vicky Valancourt picking up a nice win, heading early speed factor Purple Princess, who was the heavy favorite, and challenging her and drawing off very nicely after a 5-wide move. The pace in the race did come from Purple Princess, a New York shipper for Todd Pletcher, with a little bit of a poor start, dueled in the early going, but had nothing left to match the winner. Lotta Rhythm closed into the 3rd spot after running 4 wide after being outrun in the early stages of the race. The winner, Vicky Valancourt, is a gray 2-year-old daughter of Regal Classic from Exquisite Diamond by Fight Over. Bred in Kentucky by Prestonwood Farm Limited Corporation and owned by Ron and Ricky Reshinsky. Trained by Hugh Roberts and Vicky Valancourt. Ridden by Mark Guidry, completes the 6 furlongs in 1:11.4. Another juvenile stakes race, this time for Colts and Geldings on Thursday, sprinting in the Fort Springs Stakes. This is another $75,000 event. Let's head down to Kentucky now for Keeneland's Fort Springs Stakes.
And they're off. Handsome Hunk comes right out running for the early lead. Incredible Carson and Truman's Raider stack up to the outside. And there goes Truman's Raider being sent between horses to get the lead by just ahead. Incredible Carson goes with him in the center of the track, and Handsome Hunk now fights back down toward the inside. And El Malicia is content to let those three get away in the early going. They open up by 5 lengths on the trailer after that opening quarter in 22 seconds flat. Heading onto the far turn, Handsome Hunk leads it over toward the rail by a neck. Truman's Raider second by 3. Incredible Carson suddenly dropping back from that battle. El Malicia hugs the rail, moves up into third, now within 3 lengths of the top 2 coming to the quarter pole. And Handsome Hunk still leads Truman's Raider, but only by 3 parts of a length. And El Malicia tries to reel them in, moving off the far turn. They got the half in 45 and 4. El Malicia is going to swing toward the center of the track. Handsome Hunk has the lead by a length. Truman's Raider is second to length. El Malicia third, and they come by the 8th pole with Handsome Hunk to catch. He's got a 2-length lead. El Malicia runs on down the center of the track. Final furlong of the Fort Springs. Handsome Hunk holding off the challenge of El Malicia, and Handsome Hunk wins it by a length. El Malicia second, Truman's Raider third in 1 minute 11 and 2/5 seconds.
Handsome Hunk with a nice front-running effort here, holding on by about a length from El Malicia, who rallied from off the pace into the second spot. The early pace pressure here. Truman's Raider was the favorite in this field of 4. After a bobbling beginning, he pressed the pace, weakening in the stretch. The final finisher here was Incredible Carson, completing the 4-horse field. The winner, Handsome Hunk, is a 2-year-old chestnut colt by Hennessy from Little Rose by Mr. Prospector. Bred in Kentucky by Jacks or Better Farm. He is owned by Jacks or Better Farm and trained by Dale Romans. Ridden to victory by Craig Perrette. Handsome Hunk completes the 6 furlongs in 1:11 and 2. We're going to move ahead to Saturday for the Grade 3 Valley View Stakes, $100,000 for 3-year-old fillies going 1 1/16 on the turf. Let's head down to Keeneland now for the call of the Valley View.
And they're off. Libretto broke alertly from the inside with Cozy Corner. Here comes Sky Alliance, bounding out to challenge for the early lead. In fact, Sky Alliance is going to clear all of the inside traffic in the opening strides and gets over toward the rail, leading it by a length and a half. La Recherche goes second outside of Libretto, then Cozy Corner heading into the first turn. Peacekeeping is caught wide out in the center of the course, 3 lengths off the lead in the 5th spot, and moves up outside of Cozy Corner. Then Sluice in between horses. Twilight Tryst against the rail. They are flanked by Coney Kitty. Quick Tip is behind them, running 6 lengths from the front and a gap of 2 more to Chasson Poix, who trails the opening quarter 23 and 1. They're being led by Sky Alliance by a length. La Recherche goes second toward the outside. Then Libretto, who is tucked away inside of Peacekeeping. They are followed by Cozy Corner. Coney Kitty is caught wide for the move up the backstretch. Twilight Tryst moving up along with Sluice to the inside, both within 3.5 lengths of the lead. Quick Tip is 5 lengths from the front, and Chasson Poix is last, but only 6 lengths off the leader. They got the half in 47 seconds flat. Sky Alliance and La Recherche are the top 2. They're separated by a neck. Then Libretto, Cozy Corner on the far outside. Peacekeeping in between horses. Cozy Corner being sent to challenge for the lead at the quarter pole now, and is followed by Coney Kitty, who moves wide. Sluice is desperately hunting room along with Libretto moving off the far turn, and Cozy Corner comes forward with La Recherche. Quick Tip will be running late on the far outside. A wall of horses at the 8th pole, and Cozy Corner comes out of that crowd for the lead. Chasson Poix has come from last to 3rd, but is still a length and a half off the lead. Chasson Poix running with Quick Tip. Chasson Poix, Quick Tip, Cozy Corner still there. Chasson Poix, Cozy Corner, photo finish in the Valley View Stakes.
Cozy Corner and Chasson Poix both coming down to the wire with their noses together. A neck in front of Quick Tip, who was also rallying from far, far back. Cozy Corner got a nice mid-pace, mid-pack trip, made a nice wide move, and just got up there for the dead heat with Chasson Poix, who was rallying from far back after a troubled trip. She was inside, she moved out. Quick Trip also made a nice move from very, very wide into the stretch, an 8-wide move, in fact, continuing on very gamely. Little bit of a disappointment in here was the 3-to-1 choice Sluice in this wide open field, finishing well back, never really getting much into the game. The co-winner, Cozy Corner, is a 3-year-old dark bay or brown filly by Cozine from the Bink by Seeking the Gold. She was bred in Kentucky by Fox Ridge Farm and is owned by Fox Ridge and trained by Pat Kelly. Her co-winner, Chausson Poire, is a 3-year-old daughter of Northern Spur from Turn Native by Raise a Native. She is owned by Pia Kirkham and trained by Dwayne Knipe. The final time for the co-victors in the Valley View Stakes under Lonnie Mesh and Ron Woolsey, 142-4. Finishing up the weekend at Keeneland on Sunday, the Thoroughbred Club of America Stakes, $100,000 for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares, sprinting 6 furlongs. Let's head back to Keeneland for the call of the Thoroughbred Club of America.
And they're off. Cat K was off a step slowly. Here comes Miss Seffens out running for the early lead, joined by Rose Francis up on the far outside, and then Crystal C. My Brent's Diamond between horses, and here comes another kicking in down toward the rail as they make the move toward the far turn. Rose Francis out in the center of the track, Miss Seffens between horses along with Crystal C, and another is right up close to the pace. In fact, now gets ahead in front, heading on to the far turn. And they are followed by a close-moving Spanish Glitter, who's just 3 lengths off the lead, now up within 2 lengths of the lead and 5th on the outside. Cat K moves up a spot toward the rail. My Brent's Diamond drops out to the back. The opening quarter went in 21 and 2/5 seconds. Miss Seffens leads it by a neck on the outside of another. Spanish Glitter is 3rd, 3 lengths off the lead. They're at the quarter pole, and they're followed by Cat K in 4th, who's still 4 lengths away, as Miss Seffens comes into the stretch, chased by Cat K, who's coming quickly on the outside. Spanish Glitter moves up into 3rd. At the 8th pole, Cat K runs to the lead in the final furlong. Another tries to rally back into 2nd on the inside of Miss Seffens. Spanish Glitter there with them, but no catching Cat K, who kicks on for home for a lopsided victory. Cat K wins it by 7. Close for 2nd, either Spanish Glitter or another, in a time of 1:09 and 1.
Cat Key picking up a rare off-the-pace victory in stakes company at Keeneland. A couple of horses going out and duking it out in the early going. Another sneaking through on the rail to get there in the early going from Miss Seffens, Rose Francis, and Crystal C also going out there. Cat Key was off a step slow. Suddenly up the backstretch, she just dragged Pat Day into the race, slipping through on the inside, making a very nice move before swinging outside of horses to a 7.5 length victory, her first in graded stakes company. Spanish Glitter rallied off the pace into the 2nd spot, with another able to hold on for the 3rd spot after sneaking through on the rail in the early going. The winner, Cat Key, a 4-year-old daughter of Pleasant Colony from Cadillacing by Aladar, was bred by the Phipps stable in Kentucky, owned by Ogden Phipps, trained by Shug McGahee, and ridden to victory by Pat Day. Cat Key completes the 6 furlongs in 1:09 and 1. Next, we're going to be heading out to the West Coast for another pair of juvenile sprint stakes, beginning with Saturday's running of the Sunny Slope at Santa Anita for 2-year-olds, going the 6 furlong distance. Let's head to Santa Anita for the call of the Sunny Slope.
Where they go. Roman Dancer flew out the outside gate. American System is out fast. Ecstatic is right there 3rd. Cappuccino 4th, and Crooked Key is the early trailer. They run past the 5/8 pole, and American System now opening up a 1.5 lengths on Roman Dancer. Ecstatic coming through at the rail, a close-up 3rd. Crooked Key and Cappuccino the last 2. They 5 off this leader. They have a half mile to go in the Sunny Slope, and it's American System, 1 3/4 lengths. Ecstatic down at the rail, up alongside is Roman Dancer. They've been followed by Cappuccino, and Crooked Key is last, now 6 off the leader. Past the 3/8 they go, and it's still American System just over a length. Roman Dancer right there. Ecstatic a close-up 3rd at the rail. 3 back to Cappuccino and Crooked Key. They come to the top of the lane. American System going to be tackled by Roman Dancer. 2 lengths back to Ecstatic, who's suddenly backing up. We down to 2. It's American System down at the rail and Roman Dancer, but Roman Dancer now going the better of the 2, and Roman Dancer strikes the front with a 16th to go, and he's going to run home an easy winner. Roman Dancer and Kent DeSormo powerful. They win by 3.5, 4. American System 2nd, and Cappuccino came running on for 3rd.
Roman Dancer and Kent DeSormo picking up a nice 4-length victory here. Roman Dancer, you may remember, was the pace setter in a couple of stakes races of late, including the hopeful here at Saratoga. Went back out to the West Coast and was beaten by a couple of Godolphin horses who were on their way to Breeders' Cup competition. They decided to drop back to Sprint Company. Picked up a nice win here over the over American System, the early pace setter here. Cappuccino rallies a little bit after a bit of a wide early trip into the 3rd spot. The winner, Roman Dancer, is a 2-year-old bay colt by Polish numbers from Phalaenopsis by Cormorant. He was bred in New York by Mr. and Mrs. Richard Nielsen. However, he is not an official New York bred. He is not registered as a New York bred and is therefore not eligible for the many benefits open to New York breds. I find that a little bit interesting. Remember the name Phalaenopsis. You're going to be hearing it again in a few minutes here on this program. Roman Dancer is owned by Lorraine and Rod Rodriguez, trained by Christopher Pash, and ridden to victory by Kent DeSormo. Completes the 6 furlongs of the Sunny Slope in a quick 1:08.3. The sister stakes race to the Sunny Slope, the Enokia, run on Sunday at Santa Anita for 2-year-old fillies going 6. Let's head back out to the West Coast for the call of the Enokia Stakes.
Away they go, and Asian Adventure bounced away very fast, and Asian Adventure opens up a length in the first few jumps. Sinful Bride coming through at the rail though, and Sinful Bride now running up alongside of Asian Adventure. Little Awesome Annie is a close-up third. Green-Eyed Lady runs up alongside of her, and Pancho de Leona is last. They run to the half-mile pole, and Sinful Bride, a narrow leader with Asian Adventure right up alongside of her. A length and a half to Little Awesome Annie, and Green-Eyed Lady a joint third. Only 2 lengths separates those 4. And there goes Pancho de Leona on the outside, has to go wide, but moving in on the leaders. The 5 runners tightly packed as they pass the 3/8. It's Sinful Bride, just a narrow leader to Asian Adventure. On the outside, Pancho de Leona, and right alongside is Green-Eyed Lady. 4 of them lining up into the turn, and Little Awesome Annie's right there too. Any one of the 5 can win it. They come for home. Sinful Bride, Asian Adventure, Pancho de Leon on the outside, and suddenly Green-Eyed Lady backed up. She's the only one who can't win it right now. Little Awesome Annie trying to get involved late, but it's Pancho de Leona in front. Pancho de Leona, Asian Adventure, but Pancho de Leona will win going away. Pancho de Leona draws clear by 3. Asian Adventure, then came Sinful Bride, Little Awesome Annie, and Green-Eyed Lady was last.
Pancho de Leona picking up a nice win, a cleverly named filly, 3 lengths the better of Asian Adventure, who spent the early part of her season this year chasing after Stakes Company and hitting the board a number of times. Sinful Bride, the early pace setter, holds on for the 3rd spot in this short field of 5. The winner, Pancho de Leona, is a 2-year-old gray or roan daughter of Ponch from Perfect and Proud by Nonpareil, bred in Florida by Karen Imperato. She is owned by Eastern Sky Unlimited Trust and Charles Kono, trained by Christopher Pash, who picked up a training double in the 2-year-old stakes races in California this weekend. The 6 furlongs under Garrett Gomez, completed by Pancho de Leona in 1:11 flat. We are going to pause now for a second break, and when we return, we'll be taking a look at New York Showcase Weekend from Belmont Park. Please stay tuned.
Every NYRA weekday, why not join Gene Wood for an in-depth look into that day's race card? Gene's knowledge of thoroughbred racing can help you in making an informed selection. Also, she'll look back to review the previous day's race card and will also let you know what's happening in the world of racing. Gene Wood's handicapping analysis every NYRA weekday here on the OTB Network.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to be taking a look at Belmont Park's Showcase Weekend for New York Breds, a series of terrific stakes racing for the New York Bred Company. A good weekend. They've spread this event out over the entire weekend this season, and it proved to be a very successful weekend for Belmont. Getting things kicked off on Saturday, the Sleepy Hollow Stakes for New York bred 2-year-olds going a flat mile. Let's head down to New York for the call of the Sleepy Hollow.
And they're off. It's Private Emblem and Smokey is a Bandit. White Ibis toward the inside. The field moves up the backstretch, and Private Emblem dashes clear by a length. As Smokey is a Bandit sits back second. There goes Eye of the Comet, and there goes Finality up to join the leaders now as White Ibis rates back in 5th. It's 2 lengths back to Cat Bite and Never Get In, and another 6 back to the trailer, Ham and G's. The opening quarter, 23 seconds flat, midway up the backstretch. Private Emblem surrounded by challengers. To his inside is Smokey is a Bandit. To his outside, it's Finality. On the far outside, Eye of the Comet. And White Ibis looms in behind them, close to the pace 5th. Never Given is 6th. Catbite to 7th. Ham and G still trails the field as they round the far turn. The half in 46 and 3/5 seconds. Private Emblem going head-to-head with Smokey as a Bandit. White Ibis takes to the outside now 3rd. Finality is working harder to stay within striking range 4th. Never Get In is finding his best stride and comes up the inside now. Then Eye of the Comet farther back. It's Catbite as the field turns for home. Private Emblem, White Ibis sweeping on the outside. Smokey as a Bandit drops back to 3rd. The field coming down to the mid-stretch marker, and it is White Ibis who's roused to the lead. White Ibis in front. White Ibis beginning to pull away from Private Emblem. Farther back, Never Give In is 3rd. Smokey is a Bandit 4th. The others well behind as White Ibis rolls on to win by 2.5 lengths. Private Emblem was 2nd. Never Give In was 3rd.
White Ibis picking up a nice win here, having turned the tables on Smokey as a Bandit as the distances have stretched out a little bit, picking up a nice win over Private Emblem, the favorite in the field of 8, with Never Give In rallying nicely after being outrun in the early going. The winner, White Ibis, a 2-year-old gray or roan son of Distinctive Pro from Wild Wings by Scarlet Ibis, was bred in New York by William Garbarini and Michael T. Martin. He's owned by the Quarter Keg Stable and trained by Richard DeStasio. Ridden to victory by Robbie Davis, White Ibis completes the 1 mile of the Sleepy Hollow in 1:38 and 1. Next on the docket, the Iroquois Handicap, $125,000 for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares sprinting 7 furlongs, once again in New York bred company. Let's head back to Belmont for the call of the Iroquois.
And they're off. Maddie May and Bedside Manor. It's Bedside Manor to be the early leader. Cedar Knolls comes through toward the inside. Maddie May is now back running in 3rd. Ostrop P on the inside is now 4th. Bijou 5th on the far outside. Intransigence is in between those two, followed by Brumess, 6 lengths back to Alley Ball, who's been out-sprinted early. And Cedar Knolls has come through to take over. It's Cedar Knolls, the leader, with Bedside Manor 2nd. Maddie May on the outside and Ostrop P rating in behind. The opening quarter was 23 and 2/5 seconds. Around the far turn, Cedar Knolls blazing the way. Bedside Manor hard on her heels. On the outside, Maddie May runs in 3rd with Ostrop P still in hand. In behind the leaders 4th. Bijou is put to a drive now, mounting a bit on the outside from 5th. Intransigence is 6th, 5 lengths back to Alley Ball. Brumess has dropped back to trail the field. They're coming to the top of the stretch now, and Bedside Manor has come on through to take a narrow lead. On the outside, right there is Maddie May. Cedar Knolls fights on toward the rail. Ostrop P is in between horses. Bijou there on the far outside. Cedar Knolls throws in the towel. Bedside Manor fighting hard. Maddie May puts her head in front. Maddie May in front. Here comes Bijou on the far outside. Ostrop P toward the rail. They're coming down to the finish. And it is Maddie May pulling away. Maddie May is going to win it here. Maddie May on the wire by 2. Bedside Manor holds for 2nd. Bijou is 3rd.
Maddie May pulling off a little bit of an upset here, beating Bedside Manor by 2 1/4 lengths. Bedside Manor involved in the early pace between horses, still running on very nicely for the 2nd spot as Longshot. Bijou closes from off the pace into the 3rd spot. The winner, Maddie May, a 4-year-old dark bay or brown daughter of Not for Love from Lady by Design by Fast Play, was bred in New York by Richard Toffelon, owned by So Madcapped Stable and trained by Todd Pletcher. Ridden to victory by John Velasquez, Maddie May completes the 7 furlongs of the Iroquois in 1:24 flat. Next up, the Mohawk for New York breds going 1 1/8 on the turf. This is the older division. $150,000 is the purse. Let's head back down to Belmont for the call of the Mohawk.
And they're off. Thunder's Luck Blazing Saddle on the far outside. Pure Harmony streaking toward the front as they race for the clubhouse turn. Pure Harmony from the outside post clears the field in the first 100 yards and opens up by 5. Pure Harmony goes out winging. With Thunder's Luck now 6 lengths behind the leader. Reluctant Groom takes to the outside 3rd by 3. Blazing Saddle is 4th. Statement is 5th. And then it's Celtic Sky restrained at the inside 6th. On the outside, goes Dr. Cat up from 7th position now, followed by Vintage Class, then I'm All Yours, Hags Castle, Ristophoros. And at the back of the pack, Topsy Jim as the field moves down the backstretch. It is all Pure Harmony, isolated on the lead. A 23-4 opening quarter. Now he's in front by 10 down the backstretch. Pure Harmony rolling right along as they move to the half-mile pole. Thunder's Luck is a distant second. Reluctant Grooms alongside him. It's another 5 lengths back to Statement. Then Celtic Sky, who's still better than 12 lengths from the lead, with 3.5 furlongs to go. Dr. Cat 4 wide round the far turn. And they're closing in on Pure Harmony. He's just blown a 10-length lead. Here's Thunder's Luck, who sweeps on by. Reluctant Groom on the outside. Statement's on the move. Celtic Sky driving hard in between horses as Pure Harmony retreats at the hedge. On the outside, Dr. Cat swings into action, and then it's I'm All Yours and Hags Castle. They're coming into the final furlong now. It's Reluctant Groom, a narrow lead. Reluctant Groom fights on. Thunder's Luck is right there. Statement is coming on now. Statement's got ahead in front. I'm All Yours and Celtic Sky both closing in. It's Statement in front. I'm All Yours is coming with the flying finish. I'm All Yours nailing Statement on the wire.
I'm All Yours and Jerry Bailey. This horse has certainly turned into one of the nicest New York breds on the turf in a long time. This horse has really only come up with one poor race on the turf. He has been a real solid factor here, picking up a half-length win over Statement. A bit of an upset here. This one couldn't handle New York bred non-winners of 2 company last time out, but certainly ran back to a far better effort here. New York bred Statement is a $900,000 youngster in the barn of the Thoroughbred Corporation. Celtic Sky, the favorite in the field, large field of 12, ends up having to settle for the 3rd spot. Celtic Sky did have a little bit of trouble after getting an inside trip, had to swing wide for the drive, made a nice move into the 3rd spot. The winner, I'm All Yours, is a 4-year-old Bay Gelding. Bred in New York by Gerald A. Nielsen. He is a son of Belong to Me from Phalaenopsis by Cormorant. This one is a registered New York bred. Of course, a brother to the older brother of Roman Dancer, who won the Sunny Slope out in the West Coast. I'm All Yours is owned by Ann Stew Stable, trained by Todd Pletcher, who had a terrific weekend with his New York breds. Ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey. Mohawk Handicap winner I'm All Yours completes the mile in an 1/8 on the turf course in 1:47.4. Finishing up the stakes program on Saturday and moving right into Sunday's stakes program of 4 New York State bred races, starting with the Maid of the Mist for 2-year-old New York bred fillies going a flat mile. Let's head down to New York for the call of the Maid of the Mist.
There's the gate. And they're off. What About Us, Blues McGee, and Totally Selfish break in front. Not far behind them, it's Moonlight and Beauty, who's close to the pace in 4th, 2.5 lengths back. Sunday Driver's 5th on the outside. Live Band is 6th. Dancing Blues is racing 7th. Private Port steadied in traffic 8th, and Princess Dixie trails a tight pack that moves down the backstretch with Totally Selfish taking them through a quarter in a spirited 22 3/5 seconds, and just to her inside, Moonlight and Beauty glued to her, running in 2nd. Blues McGee kept close to the pace under a hustling ride on the outside 3rd. Live Band is down toward the rail, running along in 4th. Dancing Blues is asked for run. In between horses, she's 5th with the half mile to go. Then What About Us, Sunday Driver, Princess Dixie, and Private Port. The pace is sharp here. The half went in 46 seconds flat, and it's still Totally Selfish on the lead. She's leading by a length. Moonlight and Beauty still running 2nd and down to her inside. Blues McGee is 3rd. Sunday Driver is gearing up on the outside. Dancing Blues is right there and in behind the lead. Live Band's in a tight spot down toward the inside with 6 horses before her as the field turns for home. At the top of the stretch, Totally Selfish short lead. On the far outside, here comes Princess Dixie. Princess Dixie out into the center of the track, takes over at the 8th pole. Princess Dixie in front. Totally Selfish is now 2nd, followed by Sunday Driver, then Dancing Blues, farther back Blues McGee and Live Band, and they're coming down to the finish, and Princess Dixie draws off through the stretch to win by 3 conclusive lengths over Sunday Driver. It was close for 3rd between Dancing Blues and Totally Selfish.
Princess Dixie, who I'm sure is glad to see that she's a stone-cold fox, didn't show up. This one has been running second-place finishes behind that rival throughout much of her career. Now gets a 3 3/4 length victory as the heavy choice in the field of 9. Sunday Driver, who actually hustled up pretty hard in the early going, dropped back a little bit midway, and re-rallied into the second spot as a 22-1 long shot in the field, with Dancing Blues making kind of steady progress through the field after a slowish start, finishing in the third spot. The winner, Princess Dixie, is a 2-year-old dark bay or brown daughter of Dixie Brass from Princess Halo by Halo. Bred in New York by the CBF Corporation, she is owned by James F. Edwards and trained by Jim Bond. Ridden to victory by Edgar Prado, Princess Dixie completes the mile of the Maid of the Mist in 1:39 3. Older New York bred sprinters on the docket next in the Hudson Handicap with a $125,000 purse, the distance 6 furlongs. Let's head back down to Belmont for the call of the Hudson Handicap.
And they're off. Solar Deputy comes out in stride. Impeach the Pro is there. So too Bluesbreaker and Well Fancied on the far outside. Safe Florida Sandy is away 5th, right there in the thick of it, and takes to the inside. Misty Foxfire is now 6th. Vodka 7th toward the inside. Stalwart Member is 8th, about 7 or 8 lengths from the lead. Then it's Mount Intrepid 9th toward the inside, followed by Blow the World, and 6 lengths back to Storm the Gate, who trails the field. They zip through that quarter in 22 1/5 seconds. Bluesbreakers, Solar Deputy going at it, head-to-head for the lead as they pass the 3 furlong marker. Impeach the Pro is driving hard in 3rd. Say Florida Sandy, the favorite, is right there. He's in behind the lead, running in 4th. Well Fancied is now 5th. Misty Foxfire takes to the far outside. He'll come wide from 6th. Followed by Vodka, who's now running in 7th. Stalwart Member, who's 8th, and Mount Intrepid down toward the inside. They're coming down to the finish. It's wide open here. Solar Deputy toward the inside. Impeach the Pro is right there. Here comes Well Fancied. Safe Florida Sandy, a lot to do, and behind horses. Misty Foxfire on the outside. Bluesbreaker is also right there. And behind the leaders comes Stalwart Member. They're coming down to the finish. Impeach the Pro. Impeach the Pro. Pulled it off to win by a length. Safe Florida Sandy second. Close for third there between Well Fancied, Mount Intrepid, and Misty Foxfire.
Impeach the Pro picking up a very nice win here down on the inside. Safe Florida Sandy, actually the big story in here after running inside the part of the racetrack he hates the most as the heavy favorite under a heavy impost of 127 pounds, picking up the second spot in a close finish, and by so doing earning himself a purse of $25,000, putting him into the top spot, the #1 highest earning New York bred in the history of the program. It was Well Fancied making a nice move after showing good speed outside of horses into the third spot. Safe Florida Sandy appeared badly beaten at the top of the stretch after running inside of horses. Grider finally got him out, made the nice move into the show spot. But Impeach the Pro was gone by that point after showing very good speed. After drifting, he did drift out a little bit late in the going, but ran on quite well to the wire. Impeach the Pro is a 4-year-old dark bay or brown colt by Distinctive Pro from Flagrance by Hoist the Flag. Bred in New York by Brendan Tobin and Wynn Stevens, he is owned by Nicholas Leneve and William Warner, trained by Anthony Ferraro, ridden to victory by John Grabowski, in from the Finger Lakes region for this ride. Impeach the Pro completes the 6 furlongs of the Hudson in 1:10 1. Next on the docket, the Ticonderoga for New York bred fillies and mares going 1 1/8 miles on the turf. Let's head back to New York for the call of the Ticonderoga.
Start on.
And they're off. Eventail racing for the lead, and Tiger Babe down toward the inside. Then toward the outside, it's Ransom's Pride, and farthest out is Bridal Glow, taken wide into the turn. You'll Be Happy, stacked across the track 6 wide as the field races round the clubhouse turn. And Tiger Babe has won the race into the first turn and leads by a length. Ransom's Pride is second. Eventail is gathered back to run in third. The gray Bridal Glow is now 4th. 2 lengths back, You'll Be Happy, 5 wide round the first turn. She's now 5th, and Rum is 6th. And then it's Longing to Be Me, who's 7th. Bay Dragon hard held 8th. Toward the inside, Starcrest is now 9th. Longing to Be Me is lingering near the back of the pack. The 2 trailers are Brandella and Waltzing Camel. The opening quarter, 23 4/5 seconds. The pace is honest enough here. The leader is Tiger Babe. With 5 furlongs to go, Tiger Babe leads by a length. Ransom's Pride is second. Even Tail pumped up, a very eager third toward the inside. You'll Be Happy in the clear in a good striking position, fourth as they pass the half-mile pole. Then Bridal Glow is fifth after a 48-second half-mile. Rum 3 wide into the far turn. Bay Dragon is also with that group. Then down toward the inside, Longing to Be Me, still about 6 lengths from the front. Then farther back at Spectacular. On Tap, who's asked for her run now, but she needs to find a way through between horses, and now she's found it as the field makes their way toward the top of the stretch. Ransom's Pride has come away with the lead. Tiger Babe gives way. On the outside, Bridal Glow is coming with her run. Even Tail is right there in between horses. Ransom's Pride fully extended. Even Tail coming with a determined run from second now. Bridal Glow is third, followed by Rum. Brandella closing hard on the far outside. And Spectacular on Tap. They're coming down to the finish. Ransom's Pride and Even Tail. Ransom's Pride wins it by a nose over Even Tail.
Ransom's Pride, they put her on the turf last time out. That was all the way back in August at Saratoga in the Yaddo. She picked up a victory that day. They freshened her up, brought her right back here in this spot, picked up another nice win. This time ahead as the lukewarm choice at over 3-1 over the late-moving Even Tail, who just could not quite catch up to her, with Spectacular on Tap coming in with a series of absolutely fantastic races. After zipping through her allowance conditions in New York Bred Company, she had picked up a nice victory over Open Company last time out. She was sent off at almost 5-1 and completed the order of the top 3. The winner, Ransom's Pride, a 3-year-old dark bay or brown filly bred in New York by Chester and Mary Broman, is a daughter of Red Ransom from Peruvian Pride by Baldski. She is owned by Mr. and Mrs. Broman and trained by Mike Hernandez, ridden to victory by Georgie Chavez. Ransom's Pride completes the 1 1/8 on the turf course at Belmont in 1:48 flat. Final race of New York Showcase Weekend, the Empire Classic, $250,000 for the New York breds, going 1 1/8. Let's head back down to Belmont once more for the call of the Empire Classic.
And they're off. And Duplicitous comes out first. Brave One away down toward the inside. On the far outside, Saratoga Sunrise. But it's Duplicitous to be the pacemaker here. As the field moves up the backstretch run, Duplicitous leads by 2 lengths, with Saratoga Sunrise running along in second. And Personal Pro is well held in third. Brave One comes up, moving readily into third position now. Personal Pro is back running in fourth. Scottish Halo is under good restraint in fifth position. And Unhurried No Bad Habits is sixth, about 5.5 lengths from the lead. Farther back, the Gray Galactic. And Sweet Ricky trails the field as his stablemate Duplicitous takes the field through a tepid first quarter of 24 seconds flat. Duplicitous by length. Right there in close pursuit are Brave One, Saratoga Sunrise, Scottish Halo on the outside, and Personal Pros right there in the thick of it. 2.5 lengths back to No Bad Habits. Then it's a break of 7 back to Galactic. And Sweet Ricky still trailing into the far turn. It's Duplicitous in front and off the rail with the lead. Down toward the inside, Brave One. On the outside, Saratoga Sunrise. Now, Aaron Grotter giving Duplicitous a bit more rein, and he leads by 1.5 lengths. Saratoga Sunrise is now being asked to pick it up. He's running in second. Brave One looms a solid thread in behind the lead. Down toward the inside and looking for a way through there. No Bad Habits on the outside. Scottish Halo's only 4 lengths from the lead, and the leader is still Duplicitous. He's trying to pull it off wire to wire. Here come to the 8th pole under the whip, with Saratoga Sunrise coming to him, and Scottish Halo coming with a bold rally on the outside. Duplicitous trying to hold off the oncoming Scottish Halo, and Scottish Halo overpowers Duplicitous in the shadow of the wire to win it. Scottish Halo by 1.5 lengths. Duplicitous finishing second. Saratoga Sunrise was third.
Scottish Halo, a couple of years ago, as a 2-year-old, he was a graded stakes winner. Did have some trouble last year as a 3-year-old, but seems to have returned to the races now after some physical problems. In career form, picking up a nice win. 1 3/4 lengths the better of pace setter Duplicitous, who was able to get clear and set relatively slow fractions. Saratoga Sunrise a little closer to the pace than he usually runs because of those slow fractions. He was a little nearer the pace, but he has to settle for the 3rd spot. As the favorite, Scottish Halo rallies from off the pace. Top of the stretch, he looked like he might be beaten, but Harry Vega persevered with him and is able to get him through between horses to victory. Scottish Halo, a 4-year-old dark bay or brown colt by Jolie's Halo from Shotish by Deputy Minister. He was bred in New York by Petalane Stable and John P. Savin. He is owned by John Oxley, trained by Paul Rizzo. Ridden to victory by Harry Vega, Scottish Halo completes the 1 1/8 of the Empire Classic in 1:49 flat. That concludes our look back at stakes racing action for the past week. Thank you all for joining me. And of course, we hope you'll be able to join us next week for an action-packed program, highlighted, of course, by next weekend's running of the Breeders' Cup races. A terrific undercard Friday. They will be running 4 stakes races as well at Belmont Park. Should be a very, very busy program. We do hope you'll all be able to join us for that program, a terrific recap of all of the Breeders' Cup events. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. I'm Jean Wood, and I hope to see you back here next time.